Stellar MLS Transition. Module 10, Go Live Week. This is the last one. Everything up to now has been preparation. This is what actually happens on November 3rd, what I need from you that week, and the things I have already set up so you do not have to think about them. Start with what does not happen. There is no conversion weekend, no downtime, no morning where the system is half broken while somebody flips a switch. On November 3rd, you log into Stellar with full access, and it is simply yours. What that also means is the reverse. Nothing carries itself across for you. Your saved searches, your auto emails to clients, your carts, and your favorites. Those are things you rebuild inside Stellar. And you have all of October to do it, because search access opens a month earlier. That is what October is for. 3 jobs in week 1. First, rebuild your saved searches and set the county filter every single time. Module 7 showed you what happens when you do not. Second, recreate your client auto emails. This one matters more than people expect. Until you rebuild them, your clients are receiving nothing at all, and they will not tell you. They will just assume the market went quiet. Third, go look at your own listings and confirm the photos, the status, and the dates all landed correctly. If something looks wrong, that is the week to catch it. Now a decision I have made, and I want to explain the reasoning rather than just announce it. Stellar lets a broker require approval before a listing goes live. I am turning that on for the first 90 days after cutover, and for new agents after that. Here's why. Fines under Stellar are automatic. They are scanned by software, and the broker is ultimately responsible for them. 90 days of a second set of eyes on every listing is how we find out what we are collectively getting wrong before it costs somebody $500. Now the counterweight, and I am saying it out loud because you are all thinking it. An approval queue that becomes a bottleneck is worse than no queue at all. The clear cooperation clock is 1 business day. If my review takes 2, I have created the exact violation I was trying to prevent. So here is my commitment. Same business day every time. If a listing sits in that queue longer than that, that delay is on me, and I want to hear about it. Now, one thing I have to be very clear about, because I do not want anybody misreading this review as insurance. If you send me a listing and I approve it, and we both miss something, that does not mean the office owns the fine. We will do the best we can to catch mistakes. But it is a whole lot easier not to make a mistake than it is to find one somebody else made. If a technical thing gets past both of us, we will help you fight it if it is unfair. What we are not doing is underwriting fines. The listing is yours, and so is what is in it. And once your first several listings come through clean, you come off the review entirely. Stellar also lets me set an access level per agent, and I am using 2 of them. Most of you will have full agent access. You enter and edit your listings, change price, withdraw, expire, reactivate, all on your own. Newer agents will start on a level Stellar calls Agent Limited. You still enter and edit your own listings normally. What is different is that price changes, withdrawals, expirations, and reactivations need a sign-off from me. I want to be honest about why, because it is not a comment on anybody's ability. Those 4 actions are precisely the ones that produce Stellar's number 1 violation, listing manipulation, and the agents who trip that rule are almost never being dishonest. They are being helpful to a frustrated seller, and they do not know the cumulative days on market is going to follow the property anyway. Starting there for 90 days is cheaper for you than a $500 fine. It comes off the same way the review does. There is a set of things I have already configured so you never have to think about them. Listing distribution, where our listings go, office-wide. Delayed distribution, where the office is opted in by default, and I have made that call deliberately rather than letting the default stand. Our office contact record, which I have verified, and that one matters more than it sounds. Stellar pulls our office phone and website from the association's directory record, and whatever is in there is what shows on every public display of our listings. And the List Hub publisher choices, which are set once and apply to everybody. You do not need to do any of that. If you find yourself in a settings screen you do not recognize, that is usually a sign you should call me instead. 3 fields that agents misread constantly, and one of them will come up in a seller conversation in your first month. Internet yes or no is the only field that genuinely pulls a listing off IDX and the consumer portals. If a seller wants off the internet, that is the field. There is also an opt-out for automated valuation models, and it suppresses automated value estimates on IDX and virtual office website displays only. It does not touch Zillow's Zestimate. If you tell a seller you can turn off their Zestimate with a checkbox, you will be wrong, and they will find out. And third-party yes or no permits statistical use of the listing. It does not control whether your listing goes to third-party sites. Read those three carefully the first time you meet them. One last exposure, and this is the one I most want fixed before November 3rd. Password sharing is prohibited under Stellar. $500 for a first offense, and it escalates to as much as $15,000. Their rules say plainly that login patterns are closely monitored, and on a system this size, that is not a bluff. So if anybody else currently logs in as you, an assistant, a partner, a spouse who helps with your listings, that has to change before cutover. The legitimate answer already exists inside Matrix, and it is called Team Settings. Everybody keeps their own login, and a team member can act on your account through an account switcher. Same convenience, no violation. Come see me, and we will set it up. I would much rather have that conversation in October than explain a fine in December. When something goes wrong, here is the order. 1. Call me first. Anything about our listings, our office policy, or a moment where you are not sure whether you are about to do something you should not. That is what I am for, and no question in the first 90 days is going to sound stupid to me. 2. Stellar Support. 800-686-7451 for the system itself. Logins, Matrix behaving strangely, something simply not working. 3. Compliance. If you ever receive a compliance notice, send it to me the same day you get it, not the same week. There is a 20-day window to request a hearing on a sanction, and I do not want to discover one of those on day 19. If you remember one thing from these 10 modules, make it this. The rules barely changed. Most of what we covered, the RAC already required of us, including clear cooperation, which everybody assumes is new and is not. What changed is that the odds of getting caught went to 100%, because software now scans listings automatically where audits used to happen occasionally, and the price of getting caught went up 5 to 10 times on the things that actually matter. That is the whole transition. It is not a harder job. It is the same job with the margin for sloppiness removed. That is the series. Here is how I would spend the next few weeks if I were you. October is the easy month. Use it. Book your 4 classes the day the calendar drops. Rebuild your searches and your client emails while nothing is on the line. Get comfortable looking at a database 80 times the size of the one you know. Do that, and November 3rd stops being a cutover and becomes just another Monday where the login is different. My door is open the whole way through. Let's go.